Look what we have. I have a bench. The legs are in. Big long bench, 6 foot long just about, or just, almost 6 foot long. And I trimmed the tops of the legs coming out already. These come all the way through, tapering down to about 1 inch right here. And I can't be happier with that. That looks beautiful. The base down here also really tight fitting. It fits all the way through. So now what I need to do is level the feet. It does rock a little bit. Well, you can see that in here. So there's a method, there's a very good method to do this. Without this method, or without some kind of a good method, leveling the feet can be a big pain. The first thing we need to do to get this to level the feet is to level the top. We got to get this nice, we got to get basically put little wedges and shims under here until we get this like we want. Now, an important thing to know is my bench down here actually level right now? And it's level that way. It's level that way. So my bench is level. That's a good thing to establish before you start messing around with this. So, let's see how this is doing. Wow, that's almost perfectly level. It's a little bit high on the right, just barely though. And a little high on the far end. So we have some issues with a twisty top, which I should have taken care of before, but I did not. You can see here, to get level, this needs to come up about a 1/4 inch. That's significant. So basically, what this means is you could draw a line diagonal across this bench, and some needs to come off this whole side, this whole corner area here, to make this level. A level workbench is good, otherwise you end up planing twist into all your boards that you use on it. Okay, so I put the camera down low so you can kind of see the winding sticks there. On this near end of the bench, the left side is high, and on the far end of the bench, the right side is high. So what I'm going to do here, what I have to do now, is take those corners down and start leveling this bench out. So basically I'm just going to work on this corner here. On that a little bit, the other end, and work on this end. Just want to see if that has a significant change at all. Just that little bit of planing. It actually did. This shouldn't take too long then. Little changes make a big difference on that. I believe that's got it. Might be just slightly high. Still, barely though. Just hit it a couple times here. I'm gonna call that good. So now let's just check. Put it along here. So I'm keeping that one in place because that's holding the level, the plane that we want this on. So now we just need to make sure the rest of the bench also falls in that same plane. I wouldn't want to move both of them. So this is a little high, and then it gets a little high over here, which I guess makes sense if it was in twist. So you take a little teeny bit off right here, a little more right here, and a little teeny bit right here. That's kind of where we are at this point. Alright. So first I want to level this section. Alright, we got a level top. Okay, now that we don't have twist in the top, let's see what we get as far as our legs go. We're slightly high on the right. And we're still high over here. So that still fits. So now we'll have a level bench top when I trim these legs. And now, the way you mark these legs is very simple. It's one of those things that the first time I saw it, I went, duh. So you find your highest leg. Which one's the furthest off the table? 5/8. So that becomes the spot that we're going to level to. All I have to do is make a little shelf for a pencil to sit 5/8 of an inch off of the surface. So you take your pencil, you can kind of see, all right, here it sits. How far is that off of here? So now it's a 1/2 inch, just under a 1/2 inch. So I can just make a little block. Oh, see, this kind's perfect where it has that angle like that. It's probably gonna be too high. I'm gonna call that good. This angle here, as well as just sticking my pencil off the edge like that, enables me to get around, go mark, even though there's some shims in the way. I don't have to try to trim those shims perfectly. And all I do is I hold my pencil right on this board here, and I mark just by sliding it around the leg. And it automatically makes it level to my bench top. This is perfect because it doesn't matter if these are not perfectly round. They've got some roughness to them. It doesn't matter at all. It just marks the level. Wherever it marks, you cut off. And there it goes. We've now got marked off legs, so all I got to do now is turn this on its side and cut them. So if you ever want to know how to level a chair in your house, you have a rocky chair, or table or something like that, this is how you do it. Alright, that one went beautifully. One more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a leveled bench. That doesn't rock at all. Bam! Love when it does that. Sits really nicely on the ground. A little crack right there. Not much. And like I said, most will be used outside most of the time. So I'm really happy with that. The only thing I'll probably do is clean up these edges just a little bit. What I call breaking those edges, just so that, just slightly, just take my knife and run over those. And most of that is so that it doesn't get split. Like if you were to pick up one side and drag it, it would likely grab those fibers on the edge and split them off. And you can prevent that just by rounding over those edges just slightly. I mean just slightly, slightly.